Just a little over 12 seconds it took to make this keychain that is just simply phenomenal. Hi everyone, welcome to the Laser channel where we learn, create, and share. My name is Greg, and today I've got the much anticipated Laserpecker 5 along with the AP1 Air Purifier. Within this video, we're going to check out the contents of the basic kit of the LP5, set up the machine, and get it connected to the Laser Design Space software. And to see the machine in action, I'll be running a couple of sample projects. Let's get started. The much anticipated LP5 is packed with speed, power, and precision. Now, first of all, it's a dual laser source combining 20 watts of laser diode power and 20 watts of fiber laser, all in one unit. The laser diode is going to be perfect for wood, acrylics, leather, glass, stone, rubber, and much more. When I switch my attention over to the fiber laser, this does an awesome job on metals like stainless steel, aluminum, brass, silver, hard plastics, platinum, and even titanium. I've also personally used this on stone materials with great results. The high speed of the LP5 comes in at a whopping 10,000 millimeters per second thanks to the pivoting mirrors inside of the galvo head. The base work area of the machine is 100 by 100 millimeters, and that's going to be just north of 3.9 inches squared. That's also expandable to 160 by 300 millimeters with the slide extension. There's several software options. The LDS software from Laserpecker is available for PC, Mac, and the LDS for mobile devices is compatible with Apple products and Android devices. There's also Lightburn compatibility as well. You can check out more details on the LP5 and the Air Purifier with the link down below. And by the way, if you're interested in the camera system on the LP5, that camera system is a part of that cube-shaped laser enclosure. So hopefully we'll be able to check that out in the near future because that definitely looks pretty cool. Next up, let's check out the contents of the LP5 basic kit and the air purifier. The basic kit of the LP5 is going to include everything I need to get started with today's sample projects. Let's do a nice little flyover of everything in this kit. The basic kit is going to include the main laser module with the dual laser source, the shroud, the lift arm. We've also got the accessory kit with a USB drive and 4 screws. That's all that's needed for the assembly of the machine. The user manual, a cut tray to go onto the base plate. We've got an exhaust tube to go on the back of the laser shroud, and then the power adapter, AC cord, safety goggles, the USB cable, and the adapter for the hose we just saw. And here's the base plate that the laser machine will be resting on. Here's the only 4 bolts that we're going to need for the assembly of the machine. Lastly, this box contains a whole bunch of sample materials. I've got 2 coins, 2 keychains, a slate coaster. We're going to have some leatherette, a very thick piece of stainless steel, a couple large pieces of black aluminum sheet metal. I've got 2 of those. I've got some 3mm basswood, a smaller but thicker piece of coated aluminum, and 1 more piece of basswood. The accessory kit that comes with the basic machine is pretty extensive and is going to be a great way to get started with running the LP5. Assembly is going to be super simple and super basic. All I need to do is bolt the lift arm to the base using 4 screws and the included Allen wrench. I'll use the hand screw to attach the laser to the lift arm. And attaching the eye-friendly laser shield is quick and easy. There's 2 thumb screws located on the inside, and I can easily access those by reaching through the bottom of the shield or removing the eye-friendly magnetic shield in the front. Assembly of the LP5 was a breeze, and now it's time to move on to the electrical connections, starting out with the LP5 features a security key that does need to be plugged into the back of the machine. We're also going to see that it comes with a massive brick of a power supply to power both the laser diode and the fiber laser contained within the head. Of course, we've got the power cord for that power pack. And then we've got two USB cables. These are going to be standard USB-C cables. Let's check out the back of the main unit to see the connections. The back of the unit is very clearly labeled. Here's the power supply from that brick power supply we just saw. Here's the key that we're going to need to have installed to run the machine. In fact, I'm going to install that right now so I don't forget. And then I have the connection for the PC, and then 3 USB ports for any accessories. It's time to connect accessories up to these blue USB ports. I'm going to start by connecting the exhaust fan into any one of those 3 blue ports. Next, I grab the shorter of the 2 cables included with the machine. I'll connect one end down at the bottom and the other end into one of the 2 remaining ports. This gets connected up to the main head unit because this lift arm is motorized with a up-down button on the top. That's going to shuttle the laser unit up and down to set it in perfect focus with our work material down below. With this complete, I'm now ready to connect up to the LDS software and we can start creating some fun projects. What was I thinking? We're not ready to connect this up to the computer yet. We've got to get the AP1 Air Purifier set up. So let's get this out of the box and see what it looks like. The contents include the user manual, 2 exhaust tubes, the power pack power cable, the adapter connecting up to the machine, a spare pre-filter, and of course the main unit has a nice clean front. This, by the way, is an all aluminum case with a nice handle on the top. Take the top off, which has a nice rubber seal all the way around and some instructions on the inside to kind of decode the indicator light across the front. And then I've got, here is the filter pack. And this does need to be removed before powering the unit on because this is all wrapped in plastic. In fact, we'll get that removed right now. And this, by the way, has even more instructions on the replacement of the filter. And on the other side, it gives us a nice graphic of the composition making up this filter pack with the pre-filter located on the top. Here's the back view of the air purifier. So here's the air intake, and that, of course, is connected up to the shroud on the LP5. And just below that intake is going to be the air blowing out. So this is what I was talking about. You can connect one of the hoses and now you can port that down. So now that air is blowing down out of the way. And of course, this is going to be all of that nice purified air. Air purifiers are oftentimes overlooked, and I think they're one of the more important accessories that we could have. Not everybody can exhaust the fumes off of their machine outside of a window, and the air purifier is a great way to still be able to run a machine. For me personally, well, this video is being filmed in about mid-November, and I'm located in like north central Wisconsin. So I'm already running heat in the studio here. And the last thing I want to do after I pay to heat up the studio is connect exhaust up to the machine and pump all that heat outside. So with this unit, not only do I get nice clean air, I get to keep all the heat in my shop, saving me a little bit of money. Now with all of this covered and everything all connected, we're now ready to connect the computer with the LDS software up to the LP5 laser machine. First thing I want to do before I even connect up to the machine, this is really important but oftentimes overlooked, I need to remove the cover off of the field lens of the machine. We're going to see on mine, I've even attached a red ribbon as yet another reminder to remove the cover before I start placing work material inside of the work area. With that covered, we'll turn our attention back to the software. The first thing I'd like to do, of course, is connect up to the machine, and up here it says no devices connected. The red box just below that, I'll click on that once, and it's going to bring up this other menu box, and it says that there's something on COM port number 7. I'll click on that. It's going to go out and establish communication, and the machine just beeped, and just like that, the LP5 is connected up to the software. Pretty easy and very straightforward. Now that I'm connected up to the laser machine, it's now time to run some mini projects to see the LP5 in action. The materials that I'll be using are part of the sample pack included with the machine, including the 1/8" bass plywood, the slate coaster, and the wooden keychain. We'll also see that I'll be using the metal standoff tray for cutting. And that's because the first project I'm going to be using this 1/8" basswood for not only engraving, but cutting out. Let's head back into the LDS software and check out the graphics I'll be using for this first project. Across the left-hand side of the machine, we're going to have all of our tools for importing images, creating text, drawing lines, getting a flash drive set to connect directly to the laser machine, or in our case here, importing some clip art built into the LDS software. And I can scroll down a bit here, and I think I'll click on this one. And it doesn't look like anything happened, but the clip art loads in behind this dialog box. So we've got our clip art moved in. And right now this looks good, but I want to do this as an engraving, and I also want to cut this out. So I'm going to make sure that I've got the art selected, and I'm going to trace the image. And here I can make any adjustments, and we're going to see that now I've got this orange line around everything, and everything here looks good, and I'll click confirm. And now when I click on that, I can drag that off to the side, and here's the original clip art that I don't need anymore, and I can delete that out. And right now I've got that image. It looks great. And I'd like to create an offset or a cut line around everything. So I'll go up to the top here and do an offset. And I can do a 2mm offset. I think I'll actually increase that a little bit more. So I've got something like that. What I want is just a nice clean line around everything, and that's what I've got. So the next thing right now is these are both going to be set up as a line, and I want to do engraving and a line cutout. So I'm going to go back to the original graphic here. I'm going to go up here to fill, and now I will do this as an engraving, and then this outline will be the cut layer. So let's find some settings for this. And I'm going to have the resolution set at 1K. The laser source is going to be 450, which is going to be the blue laser diode. And I only need one pass. And the power, I'll type in 75%. And the depth, or in this case, the speed, I'm going to run this at about, I think about 475 millimeters per second. Here we've got 478, and I think that is close enough. So I've got that set up, and I can go back and grab this, put this back around and get it centered up. And with this line engraving, still again on 450 for that blue laser diode, I'm going to do this as 2 passes just to make sure that it cuts all the way through. And the power level, I'm going to back that down to 95%. And then the depth, I'm going to run this down at around 10 millimeters per second. I'll raise the laser machine by hitting the up button on the electronic lift arm. If I press it long, it'll continue to rise up. And when I've got enough clearance, I can hit it again to stop it. From here, I can also remove the magnetic safety shield across the front. And take the cut tray and place that in the center of the work area. And get my wood material placed in there. And back in the software, I can hit the preview button. And this will give me an outline of everything. And I'm also going to have 2 red dots inside there. And that's what I'm going to use to focus. When those 2 red dots converge into 1 dot, then I know the laser is perfectly in focus. Using the down button on the lift arm, I'll just bring this into perfect focus. And when it's just about there, I can just tap the button once and it moves in very small increments to get that finely tuned focus. That looks perfect, and I can replace the orange safety cover. From here, all I need to do is turn on the air purifier and hit the start button, and we're all ready to go. Here's a close-up of the first project, and just check out all of that clean, crisp detail. Keeping in mind, this thing was blazing along at about 478 millimeters per second for the engraving, which is just incredible. I'm all done cutting for the mini projects, so I'll remove the cut tray from the work area. And next up is the wooden keychain. I'll get this placed inside the machine, and we'll go back in LDS Software and check out the next mini project. On this keychain, I made the text the laser channel, and that can be found with the text tool. I can also do a QR code or a barcode if I need, so some pretty neat options over here to explore. This is going to be a fill engraving, and I'm going to be running the resolution higher at 2K. Laser source, once again, 450 for that blue laser diode. One pass, the power level at 75%. And my depth of cut is going to be at 40%, which equates to 239 millimeters per second. So this higher resolution and the slower speed is going to give me a much deeper engraving. From here, I just need to turn on the air purifier, and we can get going on project number 2. Check this out. Just like the first project, I have this beautiful, clean, crisp detail. And because I ran at a higher resolution at a little bit lower speed, that engraving is really deep. And just check out how long this engraving took. That's seconds, not minutes. Just a little over 12 seconds it took to make this keychain. That is just simply phenomenal. Speed, power, and precision. The results from the LP5 are nothing short of amazing, spectacular. This thing in person looks awesome. And you know what? I think I'm going to give this keychain away. If you'd like a chance to win this keychain, read the video description for the key phrase to type in the comments down below, and I'll pick out one lucky winner, and maybe it'll be you. Next up, I'm going to engrave a slate coaster. These things are crazy popular, especially around the holiday season. Let's check out LDS Software for the next graphic. Once again, I'm going to use the built-in clip art library that LDS Software has. And I just have to go through and pick something out that I like, and I think I'll try something with a lot of detail. And that certainly looks like it has a lot of detail, a nice mandala. And right now I'm going to see that it is a picture file. So the first thing I'll do is go back over here to trace image and use the defaults and take all of that off to the side and take that and delete it out. And once again, this is going to be just a line, and I could do a line engraving. That's always pretty cool. But I want to do this as a fill engraving, and I'll control and scroll wheel in to check out all the detail, and that looks good. I'm going to change the height and width a little bit down to 85 millimeters. Get that recentered up. And this time I'm going to be on the resolution, 2K and laser source 1064 for the fiber laser. And for laser frequency, this is going to be a new setting that you might not be familiar with, but it's something that you get when you use a fiber laser, and that is an adjustable laser frequency. On this unit, it's from 26 to 60. The lower the frequency, think of it as the laser hits harder into that material, and the higher the frequency, it hits more often, but with less oomph behind it. So the higher frequencies, I like to use that on metals, especially if I'm going to be doing different colors on metals, or if I want to do something where I find that magic setting where I can actually start polishing the metal to an almost mirror-like finish. For this project on the slate, I'm going to change it from 26 to 30, and I'm going to do one pass. The power level, I'm going to run it at a full 100%, and the depth, I'm going to keep that at 25%, which equates to 555 millimeters per second. If you've made slate coasters before, you know that these engrave pretty quickly, but with the LP5, they're going to engrave crazy fast with no loss of detail. I'll get this loaded up in the machine, I'll frame it out and set the focus just as I did before, and I'll tune in some background music, and we'll watch a couple clips of this being engraved. While it's being engraved, we are going to see that I will have the front cover off so that we can see it. Just know that I will be wearing safety glasses while I'm doing that filming, because the fiber laser scatter light, even though we can't see it, is still harmful to our eyes. The slate coaster took less than 2 minutes to make, and just check out all of the detail and the high contrast between the coaster and the engraving. I didn't put any special coatings on this. This is straight out of the LP5. With the LP5, I get speed, power, and precision without sacrificing any quality on my projects. Join me in future videos where I'll be connecting the rotary accessory and slide extension up to the LP5. And don't forget to support the laser channel by liking this video, subscribe, or ring that notification bell. Not only is it a great way to help the laser channel grow, it's an awesome way to connect video content like this with other great viewers just like you. Well, until we meet again in the next video, learn, create, and share.